Charlotte and Victor Deshayes, also known as the twins. Charlotte and Victor were born as conjoined twins, with Victor's lower body twisted around Charlotte's muscles and organs, affixing him into her chest, like a growing appendage of her body. As the newborns cried, so did the midwife, who helped their mother, Madeline, deliver them. She ran out of the house, claiming Madeline as a witch that gave birth to a demon. Thus began a witch hunt for the three that ran away. Over the years, they would run and hide in the countryside of France. Their mother went ill when they turned 5, giving Charlotte a new challenge of gathering food for the family. She wore extra clothing to hide the sight of Victor when she would go to a nearby town. She approached the market and, just like she was trained for, waited for an opportunity to swipe whatever food she could get. Although a victory for her, it would be short-lived, as one night the hunters found their camp and ripped the children from their tents, along with their mother, who was struck in the head with a club. They were then taken to a judge who declared Madeline guilty of witchcraft, who would then be tied to a tree and lit on fire, burning the accused witch in front of the twins. That reminds me of a different town in America that did the exact same thing. Everything that was good within them died that day, as they were then taken to a temple filled with robed figures. Victor was acting like a wild beast, wanting to claw at anyone that went near him, only finding peace in her sister, giving Charlotte a purpose to being his protector. In the temple, they were exposed to different experiments, from breaking the necks of a small gray bird to bleeding their fingers all over a vase of roses. Then they would sleep with a branch of a damp oak beneath their pillows, all while hearing nothing but the never-ending chanting chorus from the cloaked figures. The final experiment came as the twins were brought to the center of the temple, holding Charlotte upon an altar. One of the robed figures mutters a line, "Memento Mori." He draws a blade as he attempts to cut Victor out of Charlotte. She attempts to roll on her side, causing Victor to scream, and he knocks a candelabra into the oak wood, causing the whole room to light up ablaze, burning the robed cloaks in the room. She takes the opportunity to go through the blazing inferno to find an exit, but almost to no avail. She was suffocating from the smoke, but saw sunlight and trees and made her escape. When she rushed out into the forest, she almost had no visibility from the smoke, and as she opened her eyes, she saw Victor, lifelessly limping off her chest. This puts her in a pretty bad depressive state. She lost her mother and now her brother she swore to protect. She had no choice but to move on. She set up camp in the sewers, only emerging out of it to collect food, concealing her brother's rotting corpse that's still attached to her chest. Her hatred for humanity grows stronger every day over the years of surviving in a world where no one would leave her be. She even resorts to robberies which would lead to killing people that spotted her, leaving every desperate escape closer to failing. This never stopped people from chasing her while calling her words that affected her every day: monster, demon, witch. She had to hide from the unrelenting hunt from the witch hunters and the black cloaks that looked for her. Sickle in hand, she sheltered near her campfire, not knowing if the cold winter would freeze over their bodies or the cloaked figures eventually capture and kill her. Before she could accept the inevitable death, she heard and felt Victor come back to life as he poured out of her chest, landing on the snow and running. Charlotte gave chase when she collapsed in the woods, seeing Victor scream at a figure in the fog. It seems the entity took interest in the two, as it grabbed Victor and dragged him into the fog. The exhaustion that was in Charlotte vanished as she charged into the fog to rescue Victor with a sickle in hand. So, for the first time, we get to play as two characters at once. One is Charlotte and one is Victor. They have an ability known as Blood Bond, which allows them to see each other's auras no matter who you decide to control. First, they start off as being together, but you can unbind Victor and have him go for a hunt for the survivors. You can switch to either sibling at any time. While Victor can't see the scratch marks or enable perks like Charlotte, he does move faster and can see pools of blood in bright red. Victor can also do a charged leap attack on survivors, almost like the Demogorgon, immediately switching to Charlotte, who can see killer instinct on whoever Victor is attached to. This makes the survivors suffer from broken, incapacitated, and oblivious status effects, allowing Charlotte to sneak up onto that survivor and down them. Survivors have the ability to get rid of Victor, even when not attacked by him, by crushing him. This especially helps them if he misses a pounce. Their perks, well, mostly Charlotte's perks, allows them to allow Victor's lunge range attacks to go further each time they get a token whenever a generator is completed. Each attack costs a token. Trigger a loud noise notification whenever a survivor picks up an item or unlocks a chest that's 32 to 64 meters away from Charlotte, and causing 3 additional generators to regress their progress after damaging one and trigger a difficult skill check on those generators. I know a lot of people are not big fans of the twins when they try to survive from them. You wanna know why? Since Charlotte gets killer instincts when a survivor is near Victor, this can help you track where the survivors are almost all the time, especially once they repair the generators and headed for one of the gates to escape. Just put Charlotte on one gate and Victor on the other and wait for them. If they go for the one near Victor, his increased lunge attacks will prevent them from powering the gates. Even if they power the gates, if you successfully pounce on them, they can't even leave the trial. But then you'll be behind to kill them off before they even try to escape. Because of this puts them on A tier, since they became one of my favorites. They definitely got their revenge on humanity for giving them a harsh life just for being born in an unfortunate time period they were labeled as demons. Now, that's what they became to these unfortunate survivors. You mess with one, you mess with the other.